Hey guys, and down here, this is going to be my chapter review to Nanatsu no Taizai of the Seven Deadly Sins 287, Prince of Darkness. Now, awesome chapter. It's going to be a slightly different review format. Mostly the same, but just like major points, I think. But yeah, so we start with Zeldris taking kind of like an inverted lion-o pose, from Thundercats style. If you don't know what that is, write it down in the comments if you don't know what that is so that I can see how different our childhoods were. Just for me. It's just a me thing. But yeah, so first major point of the chapter after Zeldris' inverted lion-o pose. We see Zeldris' motivations for wanting to help his older brother Meliodas become Demon King. Meliodas tells Zeldris that Gelda is alive. Now this was one of those moments where it actually got a gasp out of me, and I went back in my chair and I was like, oh shit. And like, it's not that I wasn't expecting it, it's just something that I've been waiting for a while, because let me just put my phone on silent. It's something that I've been waiting for a while, because there would have been no other reason besides Gelda somehow coming back to life or being alive for Zeldris to help his older brother. There was no other way. There was going to be nothing that Meliodas could offer Zeldris unless it was Gelda that would spur Zeldris to help his brother, like bringing her back to life, or she's alive somewhere, she's sealed. And I'm pretty sure in one of my many reviews for Nanatsu no Taizai, I mentioned something about possibly her being sealed away. And I think people have mentioned this before, so it's one of those things where I think a lot of people would have called something similar to this. Now, it turns out Meliodas didn't kill the vampires, he sealed them once again, and Zeldris actually gets to see Gelda while she's in the seal, a very emotional reunion, and I'm wondering who's cutting the onions around here. I was like, oh my god, it was a very emotional scene. You see Gelda crying, and Zeldris is just there with his head bowed, obviously ashamed. I think he had to seal the vampire clan first. He was sent out to kill them, but he couldn't do it, so he sealed them away. I'm pretty sure that was Zeldris anyway. So he's hanging his head in shame, and Gelda's telling him that, like, you've done nothing wrong, like there was nothing you could have done. And she even tells him, like, that while she's been slumbering in this seal, and even Meliodas' seal, that she's been dreaming of him in her lengthy slumber. And I was like, what a way to hit the guy straight in his heartstrings. I'm like, oh my god, like if I was Zeldris, I would just be bawling straight, like a complete bitch at this point. I would just be bawling completely. So before we move on to the second point, Ruduciel tells Zeldris that victory in this holy war belongs to the archangels. Anyway, it's an assured victory for the archangels. Now Zeldris, this was surprising to me. Zeldris seemed genuinely confused by this, or at least a little bit shocked. He was just like, what do you mean the holy war? Like, the holy war means absolutely nothing to me. It's a petty game at this point in time that I have no interest in. And I was like, whoa, okay, so like Zeldris and like Meliodas, apparently they give zero shits about this being the holy war. So is it the same for Cusack and Chandler and stuff like that? Do they just give zero shits about this holy war? Is that, well, to be honest, the holy war thing would have been something that the goddesses spewed out and like forced or kind of willed humankind to kind of just eat up all that shit so that they had some sort of excuse to fight against the demons. That would have been something that they fueled the humans with. So it's not exactly a shock now that I think about it that the demons have no interest in a holy war. Maybe that was something that the goddesses designed for the humans, and like when they created stigma to fight against the demons and the like. So, but the issue here is Cusack seems to hear this. He seems to hear Zeldris say that he has no interest in this game, which is the Holy War, which seems to make him grimace, or at least like upturn his lip in some way. And I'm not sure if I'm reading too much into this, but look out for Cusack in the coming chapters. Like, I've said it right now. Check out this review. I've said it right now. I think Cusack might actually do something cray-cray, and it might be something to do with his own kind of opinions and views on the Holy War. Now Zeldris goes full Thundercats Lion-o pose at this point, like the actual Thundercats Lion-o pose, coming to the second important point of the chapter, which is his innate magical ability, Ominous Nebula. Now, like a black hole, he pulls in all living things towards him, causing the entire God Squad to fly towards him, and we get a cheeky panty shot from Merlin, followed by Zeldris bitch slapping everyone into the opposite wall. I thought that was pretty badass. I was like, yo, damn, this is awesome. I don't know what the hell he just did, but he did something. Now, this is why Cusack and Chandler both planted their arms deep into the walls away from Zeldris of the cavern, so that they wouldn't get pulled into Zeldris' innate magical ability. And also, this move is called nebula, ominous nebula, but it's more like a black hole now. This might be a translation issue. It might just be me being an asshat, but it would make more sense if it was like ominous black hole or something along those lines rather than ominous nebula, because there's very little nebulous about this attack, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not too sure if that's a translation issue or that's actually what the move's called, but it just seemed a bit weird to me. Now Zeldris continues to hoover up his foes, with Escanor taking a page out of Cusack and Chandler's book, burying his legs into the ground, so he's not actually getting pulled in by Zeldris. Now Hendrickson and Gilflander are pretty much knocked out at this point. They fly towards Zeldris until they're teleported away by Merlin, which means we come to a deadlock. Zeldris can bring anyone into him, but Merlin will just teleport them away with her infinite magic. Now Rue Duciel seems to show genuine concern for Hendrickson here, making me think making me think he likes Hendrickson beyond just as a manipulated pawn. I think he actually not has feelings for him. That would be incorrect. But I think he actually likes Hendrickson as a person rather than just this is a pawn I can manipulate at will. So Rue Duciel allows himself to get pulled in by Zeldris, feeling he can outpace Zeldris' swordsmanship now that he is aware of this ominous nebula ability. Zeldris then gives a very cocky grin and buries Rue Duciel straight into the same wall again. But this time, like, the wall is considerably damaged and it causes Rue Duciel to cough up some blood, and his sword actually breaks. So, and I was concerned here because I'm like, Margaret's body is taking a beating. Like, she's getting her ass whooped. And like I've told you before, child abuse is no joke, but neither is abuse between men and women and men. I mean, like, Margaret's getting her ass beat. So I was like she needs to be healthy by the end of this. I mean, like, you'd expect Rue Duciel to kind of make good of his promise. Well, I'm not sure if he actually made a promise, but the idea is usually that the host's body is okay at the end of it. I mean, as we saw with Sariel and Tarmiel. Then we come to the important part of the chapter, part 3, which is where we see Rue Duciel and Escanor arguing, and Escanor being a huge troll, basically just telling Rue Duciel that he's not going to follow his orders and stuff like that. And Rue Duciel takes this moment of safety to ask what the hell Zeldris' ability is to Merlin. Merlin responds with her 4 observations. 1. Zeldris is the center of attraction and things are pulled towards him. Okay, that's pretty obvious. 2. He can draw in only living things. Okay, I didn't actually notice that, but he does only draw in living things. The rocks around the ground or anything like that, none of them are pulled towards him. 3. Physical attacks don't seem to reach him. Instead, the attacker is hit by an unknown attack. So that's pretty cool, and it explains how Rue Duciel was unaware of what he was hit by, because it was just some random thing, some weird attack that just came in out of nowhere and hit Rue Duciel, split apart his chest plate or his breastplate, and he was completely confused as to what hit him. And 4, the magical attacks Merlin and Rue Duciel used on Zeldris didn't affect him. Merlin believes this is part of his Demon King abilities, that's right. That's, he has that inversion ability. He's not going to get damaged by any magical attacks. So Zeldris is impervious to magical attacks. He can't be touched by physical attacks, which seem to be mirrored back. I think it's like a mirror force kind of thing. Or some unknown attack strikes the attacker for some strange reason, and all the while he pulls people towards him with unstoppable force. Now that's pretty dope. That's pretty hard to come like that. That's pretty hard. That's a pretty big task to kind of climb over. Now Escanor and Rue Duciel then get into another argument, which I thought was pretty funny. Rue Duciel asks for aid, while Escanor says he won't follow Rue Duciel's orders, calling the idea a wisecrack. And we have even Cusack and Chandler weighing in here, kind of confused by this argument. They're like, wisecrack? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, aren't these guys supposed to be like a unit against us? So then Rue Duciel gets pulled in again. Merlin actually tells Escanor, like, you should probably go help her out. An order which he finally follows, obviously saying, like, Merlin's orders are different to your orders, talking to Rue Duciel. And he'll always follow Merlin's orders no matter what. So this was funny, but I couldn't help but notice Merlin referred to Rue Duciel as her. Surely this is because he's in Margaret's body and not because he's a her, right? That would be trap, like big time trap alert. Like, I would be really confused if Rue Duciel turned out to be her. I wouldn't be annoyed. I'd just be like, I'm pretty sure you were a dude, and I thought you were a dude. I mean, like, Mile refers to you as my older brother. I mean, like, they always refer to Rue Duciel as he, and now she refers to him as her. It's got to be because Rue Duciel is in Margaret's body. That's what I'm thinking. So, hey, where was I? So, with Merlin's order, Escanor defiantly tells Rue Duciel that he he better have a plan, otherwise he's going to send him flying. And Reduciel retorts with, he does have a plan, so he seems to have some sort of countermeasure against Zeldris, but Escanor must follow his orders. Now, that was the end of the chapter. Now, I feel like Zeldris has shown he's a little cocky this chapter, and this might not serve him so well. It might actually serve him negatively, and he might take some damage against these three opponents. I mean, like, they're not to be trifled with. Reduciel, Merlin, and Escanor, three big-time players. So I feel like he's a little more cocky than he should be, especially seeing as Merlin can literally instant transmission behind his ass at any given time and either damage Zeldris herself with Hendrickson or something due to his druid abilities, or with either Escanor or Reduciel. That's a major factor, I think. But this is going to go back and forth until two major things occur, in my opinion. Now, one would be Estarossa is revealed to be Mael, driving kind of Reduciel's motivation sky high and sending Zeldris for a loop like, oh shit, I've just lost a brother. And two, Meliodas should awaken a little after that, you'd assume, putting an end to the fight, but will he awaken with his emotions back, or will he be crazy Meliodas, almost body bag his old team, and then his emotions return or something like that? But then we go back to the point I've made multiple times. So if Meliodas, even if he almost body bags his old team and then his emotions come back, we go back to the point of, and I've made this multiple times, who will be the enemy if Meliodas' emotions return? It's not going to be, let's go through the candidates I think that are viable. Zeldris would be number one. Like, would he go apeshit? No, I don't think Zeldris would go apeshit at all, because Meliodas would free Gelder in a heartbeat. That's why Zeldris is part of this. He knows, he's like, Gelder is alive, I can get her back to you. I just need to become Demon King. So you do this for me, and I'll do that for you. But Meliodas only said that while he was in his kind of emotionless state. So if his emotions came back to him, he'd be like, yo, dude, you can have Gelder straight away. Like that. I didn't mean to like leverage that against you. You should just have her straight away. So she would be freed, and they would be free to go make out. Stuff like that. Cool times. So it's not going to be Zeldris. Cusack. I'm thinking maybe Cusack. Because he even went off many chapters ago and he prepared something. He said he had something to do, and he went and did it off screen, but we don't know what he did. So I'm still really concerned about Cusack. But if Zeldris told him to sit his ass down, he would. I mean, like, he seems to be very loyal to Zeldris, so you'd assume if Zeldris said, boy, sit your ass down, he'd sit his ass down, roll over, and go to sleep. Also, Meliodas would kick his ass back to like the Song Dynasty if he tried anything, so like I doubt it's Cusack as well. So then we have Reduciel and the goddesses. Would they continue to fight? Now we're lacking Sariel and Talmiel, so we only have Reduciel and Mael, but they'd still be at a disadvantage because we have the return of the Sins with their captain, essentially. If Meliodas comes back with his emotions, the Sins are going to be reunited, especially because Ban's back as well, and we hope he finds Kurashu's, which is his sacred treasure, or Kurashu. Is it French? I'm not sure. I think it might be French. I'm not very good with French, but you'd assume if you found Kurashu's, yep, they'd be kicking ass. I mean, like, Bond's going to be overpowered when he comes back, so the Sins would be back, and their captain would be back as well. Would Reduciel and Mael continue to try to take out Meliodas? I doubt it, because even I doubt Mael would even try, seeing as he would be looking to get rid of all of this hate and enmity and contempt for the Demon Clan specifically, but just others in general. I think he would be trying to reverse that, and seeing that like everything that he's done has just led to war and more bloodshed, and then it led him to the position that he was in, which is being Estarossa for 3,000 years. I think he's kind of on the side of, I don't want to fight anymore. I'll only fight if I need to, but I don't want to proliferate this fighting. So Reduciel wouldn't go ahead and try to fight off everyone by his onesies. I doubt that. So there has to be some sort of supreme deity or demon king interaction. They have to come into the world somehow, or pull everyone else into their worlds. And we also need to see our boy Arthur come back too. So a whole bunch of things that have yet to happen, and I can't wait. This chapter was good. Can't wait to see what happens next chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in a bit.